Okay, this is what I'm going to show you. Every year, well, not every year because I didn't do it last year. I don't think I did it the year before either. 2 years ago, I haven't done it. I do a craft fair. And I love doing the craft fair because it's just fun. You get to meet new people. You get to make lots of fun projects. And it's just a fun environment to be in. I have gotten quite a few new customers from the craft fairs, so it's a fun time. And it's a way for my customers to pick up some already made projects. And whether they take them home and tear them apart and make another one, or whether they use it and give it out is up to them. But this one is one that I've done and I usually put, lifesavers. Because it reminds me of a lifesaver box from when I was a kid. And so I usually put lifesavers in it. I'm going to move up a little bit here, or move this a little bit. Just so you've got more of the tabletop. I think that made it worse. Sorry guys. Go that way. Okay. That's better. Okay. So so that's what it reminds me of as a lifesaver box, except the lifesaver boxes were attached. The lid was attached, I think, to the top there, and when you pulled it, it stuck, and you could do that with this one. It's going to be a little harder though because this box is so thick. So they were thinner, maybe? I don't know. But these are just fun boxes, and I am starting to see them online again. And I thought, oh, maybe it's time to do one because they are fun. So this one is a Christmas one. These two are Christmas ones, so I had to play, of course. And then this one I made for my groomer. I'm going to take it over and give it to her tomorrow. Riley gets groomed tomorrow. And so I'm just going to put a little treat inside. And let me show you, the box opens. So you can put anything that'll fit in there. 9 Hershey Nuggets will fit in there, and I'm sure there's tons of other things that'll fit in there. I haven't bought any lifesavers, but I think lifesavers would fit in there. I think the roll would fit. So I'm going to show you how I made those, and I'm going to do it from scratch, right from the very beginning, from cutting the paper. So I'm going to grab my trusty trimmer here, and let me move my magnets up there so they're out of the way. Okay, and I'm going to start with, and I hadn't really decided too much. Oh, you want to see what we're going to use? Ooh, this is the most beautiful paper, and if you've signed up for On Stage, you have the opportunity to order this. And look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? I just cannot believe it. It reminds me a lot of hand pen. So the other side of that, on the other sides of all of these is some kind of a wood pattern. So that one is the one I'm going to use today, and I'm going to use this one. Those are the two that I'm going to use. But then there's this one with the bees, which is gorgeous, and has a wood pattern on the other side. This one I'm using, and the other side of that is also a wood pattern. So you have lots of different wood patterns. Most of them are they're just a little bit different. Okay, so those two go together. And then these two, that one and that one, that's the opposite side of it, right there. And then on this one, the green is the opposite of this pattern, the wood pattern here. And what do I have stuck here on the back? Oh, the other side of one of the other ones, the blue one. So they are so pretty. And then the stamp set, the bundle, is called Blessings of Home, and I love it. It's just sweet. So you can see how it reminds me of hand pen, and these are the dies that come with it. So there's some more what do I want to call these, just the little pieces of shrubbery, you know, whether it's a leaf or a stem. There's a flower here with a stem. So lots of nice greetings, and just the 2 flowers, but I love it. It's just really pretty. It also has coordinating, well, we got it with coordinating classic matte dots, so I imagine you guys will too. There's no coordinating ribbon to go with this, which I didn't grab a ribbon. So let me go grab fresh freesia. I think that's what I want. We'll try it, see how it works. Maybe not, maybe pale papaya would be better. And we have a solid pale papaya, so, okay. So let's get started. All these measurements will be on my blog as soon as this video is done. And then I will, you'll be able to get those. So I'm going to start with a 4 5/8 by 8. So I'm going to cut it this way at 4 5/8. And then just cut off a 1/2 inch off the bottom. 1/2 inch down. And most of this paper is going to be covered, so I'm not real worried about it. It is the extra thick basic white. And then I'm going to score at 3 1/2 from each end. The instructions that I saw the other day online gave you 2 different measurements, but I'll tell you what, it came out different. It didn't come out the right way. So I figured 3 1/2 inches from each end is the best way to do it. So 3 1/2 there, flip it around, and do 3 1/2 over here. And that way you know your sides are even and any excess ends up in the middle, which is okay. And so I'm just going to fold that in half. Okay. Now for the front, I'm going to cut a 3, which I've decided this is going to be my front piece. And this is going to be 3 by 4 5/8. So let's just cut a 3. And if you really wanted to, you could put it on the back as well. I think I did. Yes, I did. So we need 2 of those. Okay. And 4 5/8 again. Okay, now those are going to go on my front. And then for my inside, I'm going to use this piece. It's a little bit sweeter. And I am going to do that at 3. Let's finish the outside. So for my binding, I'm thinking I want fresh freesia. Yeah, I do. So for the binding, I'm going to cut a 2 1/2 by 4 5/8. So my 4 5/8 is my kind of my standard because that is the height of my box. And so most everything gets cut that direction at one point or another. Okay. All right. Now for the inside of my box, I'm going to cut a piece of this fresh freesia for the inside spine, because this is the outside spine. So this is 3/8 by 4 5/8. So that's for the inside. And then I'm going to cut this pretty little flower for the inside, and that's 3 1/2. Let me just double check here. Yeah, 3 1/2 by, of course, 4 5/8. And oops, where's 5/8? Right there. Okay. All right. So that's going to go on the inside of here. And then I want something for on top of my box. And this doesn't have the freesia in it. So I think I'm going to go back to this one. And I need a piece of designer series paper that is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, we've got all our papers cut. Oh, no, we don't. We haven't cut our box. Okay, so my box, oh, I cut out my fresh freesia, didn't I? Okay, let me grab another piece of fresh freesia. So my box is going to be cut at 5 by 6. I'm going to use that. That is the bottom of my box. And I'm going to score at 7/8 all the way around. I'm going to do this on my scoreboard. Okay, then I'm going to cut a second one that is 5 1/16. Now 1/16 is just that little tiny line past the 5-inch mark. And I have found this is the easiest way to make a lid for a box, by 6 1/16. Because all I need is a little bit of difference in the size. Okay, now I can score both of those at 7/8 of an inch. Grab that. Whoops, don't squish my box here. And so both of these papers will get scored at 7/8 of an inch all the way around. And 7/8 of an inch is where that little 1 is, and the 1 belongs to the longer line, but it's like it's right below it. Otherwise, some people say just leave a 1/16 of an inch. That to me doesn't work. I can't do that on my scoreboard. Leave a 1/16 of an inch. That means it's uneven. So that I have found it's better to add it. And what happens is my 1/16 of an inch that I added ends up in the center because they're scored at the same depth. Okay, so then I'm just going to trim these up. And I trim the outside just so that when I put it together, I don't end up with a little bit of this edge sticking up. And I cut it on the bottoms. There are so many different ways to cut a box. You can cut one flap, pick out the right flap and cut the right flap all the way around. You can cut the left flap all the way around. You can cut it wrong. You can cut it right. So, yeah, I've seen so many different ways to trim out a box. It's amazing. And I'm cutting little wedges in there because it gives it a freedom to be able to move so that you can adjust it and make it fit well. So that's why I cut the little wedge. It just gives it that freedom to move around. Okay, let's get rid of all those little pieces. And let's put our box together. I am going to use tear and tape for my box, but before I do that, I'm going to take my bone folder and crease all these edges, these score lines, so that I have a nice crisp box. On both pieces. I typically do a class every Christmas that is, just before Christmas, that is boxes and packaging. It's kind of gifts and packaging, that's what we call it. It's kind of a fun class to do, just to be able to make all kinds of different things with paper. Okay, so then I'm just going to attach a piece of tear and tape on each of these. Let's get down here where it's manageable. And look at both pieces. So green glue will work for this if you don't have tear and tape, as will our new adhesive, and there is, oh gosh, it's the Plus. It's the Stamp and Seal Plus will work too. Tear and tape's a little easier on screen. I don't have to fight with the the dispenser or get glue all over my hands. So if you have a little extra, I would recommend that you fold it back. And so I should be able to fold each one of these and they will fit when I'm done. I want to go right to the bend there in the box when I fold it. I don't want to go over, I don't want to go under. Just right to that. So my cut line almost becomes invisible there, because it's just right on the corner. And one more. Make sure that this one's on the inside when you do it. Otherwise you have to pull your box half apart in order to get that last one to seal. Okay, so I'm not sure which one that is, if that's the top or the bottom yet. We'll find out when I get this one together. Oops, oops. This is a pretty simple procedure. See, there we go. Almost forgotten, left that out. There's one little tricky spot for, not the box, but for the cover. And scoot that back. Okay, and there we go. Now let's see if I did it right. One of these will go inside the other. There we go. And so there's our box. So super simple. Okay, now let's get our cover going here. So this one, we're going to take the bone folder and crease it as well. And this, you want to do all your work on this before you put your binding on. So I'm going to put my inside, and where's my green glue? I'm going to put my inside paper in and my outside paper on first. And I believe this is the outside paper. Either that or I cut something wrong, huh? Oh, and let's put it right side up. How about that? Okay. And then this isn't, oh, that's my box paper, right? Okay, that's my inside paper. And this is my other outside. So they're not going to go all the way to the center. You can see my center line, so it's not going to go all the way to the center. You want to glue it on to the edge. So your edge here it matches, okay? Then you're going to, let's do the inside, because we want that to be all set, so we don't have to do anything once we put that on. Okay, and then this was my inside binding. Okay, now on my box, I am going to add a magnet. These magnets are, you can buy them on Amazon. I buy them from K&J Magnets. I remember that because my children are Kim and Jason. So Kim is my oldest, so it's K&J Magnets. So that's why I always remember where I buy them. I will put their information online and a link to this exact magnet, because they have a ton of them. I mean, they're called K&J Magnets. So they have all kinds of magnets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my magnet to my box. Yeah, I'll attach. You could attach it to the, oh, wait a minute. No, I need to attach that magnet in here. Oops. I had written myself a note so I wouldn't do this. And I did it anyway. So let's see if I can peel this back a little bit with my trusty piercer, or you could use your spatula. I'm going to put a glue dot on my magnet. I want my glue dot to adhere to the front cover, not to the DSP. And so I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to put it, slide it in there. I think since I did it this way, I'm going to have to slide it in with a pair of tweezers and stick that down. Oops, and it came back. Let's try it again. And I need to get it in a little ways because my box is a little further in. So there we go. Okay, so my magnet is hidden between the DSP and the cover. Okay, now we're going to go over here and I'm going to put in my box. And I'm going to do that with glue, and I'm going to leave it together. But I want to make sure I only put my glue on the box bottom. No glue on the box lid. I'm going to put this in here, bringing it right to the edge, just like that. So it fits in there like that. And there is our box in there. I'm just going to hold that for a minute so that it gets secure. Okay, so my box is really lined up right along this fold edge, okay, so that it comes up like that. All right, now we're going to put our other magnet onto here, and I'm just going to let it go. It's going to go where it needs to go, and now I can put my glue dot on there. On this side. Trying not to touch it, notice. Okay, and then I'm going to press it down and pull that off gently because I want this to stay here. So it should be through there. Now I'm going to take my inside paper, my box top, and put it right there. So that's a little close to the edge. So you could go a little further over. My paper will cover it. Just like that. Now if you decide you want to put a layer in between the paper and the DSP, put your magnet under the DSP, not under your other layer. Okay, so now my box closes just like that. Isn't that adorable? Okay, so let's do our binding, our outside binding. So in order to start this, I'm going to take my bone folder and my cardstock. If you're using cardstock, or you want to use something pretty strong. And I'm just going to just kind of curl it. I want to curl it a little bit. It's going to make it easier to work with. Otherwise, you're going to be trying to curl it while you're attaching it. And that's not fun. I know. Okay, now I'm going to take some tear and tape. This is exactly 1/2 inch here between that I have on the edge here, so I know that if I put 2 strips of tear and tape right along here, that is going to give me the edge that I need. If my tear and tape goes over that edge, which it looks like it might on this one for some reason, make sure you fold it back on. You don't want it to adhere to this edge over here. So if it does, and then we're going to also trim the top really nice and neat so that we don't have extra. Or you can fold the top back on it. That works too. This one feels like it has a real overhang. So this one we're going to fold back under, so which is good. Okay. I'm just going to take my bone folder and run that along that edge just to make sure that my tear and tape is stuck to the box. So when I start peeling it off, I get just the paper, the tearaway paper. And just like that. Okay, now this is where I can tell if there's something there and just brush it back onto it. Okay, and I'm going to attach this little edge right along there. nice and close. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to peel away that tearaway paper. Check my edge. I can see that I have adhesive hanging over there, so I'm just going to bring it back on. And let that on there. And then I'm just going to fold this over. Now you want to kind of come up and over and then put it down when you're ready. And press that down. I'm going to take my bone folder and just run it along there gently. And look at my little boxes coming together. Okay, so now I'm going to take the fresh freesia ribbon. Oops. That pulled it open. That magnet pulled my box open. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to take my fresh freesia ribbon here and I'm just going to tie a little knot. Trim some of that off. And I think I'll go right on the freesia to do this one. Can't get a hold of it. There it goes. And I kind of got that twisted there and didn't get it laying flat for some reason. Okay. This one's going to be a little different. That's okay. And I'm going to move that over some and maybe up a little. So I'm going to put it so it's right on the fresh freesia. So I can still adjust it. There we go. All right, now I have already stamped and cut because I knew it would take me so long to make that. I've already stamped and cut this beautiful little flower that I'm going to pop up on here. And I have a greeting. So I think my greeting is going to go on the inside. It keeps opening my box. I think I'll put my greeting on the inside. It says, "You are a real blessing to everyone you are around." And I love this greeting because I have a son who's that way. He's a real blessing to me. So that's going to go right in there. And our flower is going to go right on the front. And it's almost a shame to cover that pretty paper, huh? Maybe I should have just put the flower over there. Okay, we'll put it on there. Alrighty, so there is my little box and my project for today. So thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said, I will put the instructions for this on my blog, and you can find those at stampwithdeb.com. And I'm here every Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock. I would love to hear from you if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.